Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're doing another Dev Insights. It might feel like it's soon, but that's just because I was very late to the last one. So you might have noticed I recently just posted a Dev Insights video just a couple days ago. That one was covering the Dev Insights from December 26th and December 19th, and a whole bunch of other random community-related game updates, promo codes, events, all sorts of stuff, right? Notices, yeah, free stuff, cool stuff, all sorts of stuff. So if you missed that, maybe watch that first if you want to really catch up on what's been going on. But we had another one pop just yesterday, which I kind of assumed usually they do this around Friday. This was actually posted on Thursday. It's now Friday, me recording this, and I'm like, oh gosh, another one. So here we go again. I will read it so you don't have to. All right, let's dive in. The first question or comment is very specific, but could we get a small buff to Admiral Claw so that his Bloodstorm Annihilator attack can still inflict stun on enemies? It would be cool to use him as a stunner in Semra. So they do reply saying Admiral Claw could be considered to be buffed in some other ways. So maybe not that, but he's on the consideration for buffs list. Speaking of which, Ezrin they have a comment about too. Like Ezrin is GVG only. One of Ezrin passive needs a rework. The ones where he heals allies beyond his range. The passive should only focus on allies outside of his range. My 40k HP Mari died from 4 hits by rock throwers because Ezrin used his passive on a defender or Ardea who dropped out her own HP by herself. They reply saying the skill has a better effect when healing units inside the range. Allies within the range will be healed first in order to not waste the increased effect. But I feel like I agree that with this comment that the whole point of using Ezrin is kind of like an E-drill, that he's a bonus healer that can heal outside of his range, which is what makes him interesting. He's the E-drill of healers, right? It might be less, but I still agree. I think it should prioritize the others. All right, I like this comment on Callista as we continue the specific hero conversations. Please consider reworking Callista. It was great to give her out for free, but her skills are not working as intended. The knockback effect is far too RNG dependent, and her custom artifact does not help out. So they say, we will provide more guides and game tutorials in the future. With the right loadout, she is able to hold an entire lane by her own in Gear Dungeon. But only with Awaken 1, wasn't it, right? I think that's the problem, is do we want to use our special soul stones on her when people are all hyped about Sun Wukong and Kagiri as well? Like, is she worth using one soul stone on? Probably, if you have a lot, but that's the trouble, I think, because we only have one copy of her, and even though we could have used that soul stone on her, and some people might have, we knew Sun Wukong was coming, so I'm sure that her potential for Gear Dungeon 2 is with Awaken 1. I could be wrong, but I can't really see how she would knock back people enough to hold her own lane in Gear Dungeon 2 as the knockback hero. So maybe you guys can certainly let us know in the comments below if you have any great strategies using Callista for Gear Dungeon 2. Did anyone make it work well without the Awaken 1? Alright, and this question is one of those can't win either way kind of situations, I think. So in the Frostfall Jamboree, I have all the rewards and still had 5 or 6 days to go. Can't there be an extra reward for those who did well on the event and got all the rewards quickly? Like the dragon events? I think they mean the dragon pass. If you're maxed out there and you're still able to get some extras if you do well. They do say, thanks to the feedback, we'll discuss the approaches and detailed plans about these events. However, I think this kind of goes back to like people always asking to extend rewards on things like the other one was Brave Conquest from the last video. But if you extend rewards and people can't hit it, like then people are going to complain that the game requires you to do literally like the thing that I made a video about complaining about would have been the issue, right? Like, I think the idea is allowing people to complete everything fairly easily without extra stress of doing literally every single thing is important, especially on a holiday event when people are busy and distracted by the holidays. So if you added another tier of rewards and people couldn't hit those as easily, you could have also had people upset because why are they making this so hard to complete when it's the holidays, right? So I think maybe they could do it softly where there's this constant bonus reward that's not too crazy. Maybe like the battle pass thing where you just get more like forging materials and people will get the main things, then stop worrying about the extras possibly. But they can't go too crazy adding more and more tiers of rewards when they're trying to do generous events, because the point is to respect people's time, to understand that not everyone can obsessively play these games all day long or even play properly every day, and that you want to have stuff that caters to both sides. So I think they did a good job by giving us a very generous event that was very easy to complete during a time when most people are extra busy. So I would suggest not to change that, honestly, unless they can do so in a manner that is a very low tier of little bit of bonuses where you don't feel like you're missing out, having that, like, by not continuing to do extra every single day. Again, especially during a holiday, mainly, right? I think that's fair. I think they did a really good job. So their rewards were more than generous. Way too, like, too generous. Not really, but, you know, compared to other games, like, the generosity was amazing. So I think they did really good. And whether or not they add extras could only lead to some other problems as well. So they have to tread lightly with that kind of thing. And it's something that other players don't think about if you're that person that grinds like crazy. So, all right, there's a comment here about the overabundance of 5-star psychic powers, right? Oh my goodness, yes. They're suggesting being able to exchange those for something like a hero or something. But they do reply saying, we have noticed the issue with psychic shards. They mean psychic powers. We will consider making some improvements, but they may not be in the form of exchanging heroes. Yeah. Or psychic, that's what they mean, right? Psychic shards. I mean, there's the shards that you put together to make a psychic power. So I think they mean psychic powers. But yeah, sounds like they might have some plans for that currency soon, maybe. All right, this has an interesting reply. They say, why don't we get any more events with increased drop chance of specific sets anymore? This happened a couple of times in the first 6 months of the game, and then just never happened again. We need more events more frequently for 2x chances specific sets, such as at least like 2 times per month rotating, where you could get sets such as Infernal Roar, Soulbound Arcana, Ageless Wrath, Invigoration, and even some tier 1 sets like Guardian. Additionally, you could do 2x chances to drop Demon Soldiers. So they say, thank you for the feedback. Your event suggestion has been taken into consideration. It will require detailed planning and time of implementation. So maybe that'll be a little reminder that they should do those type of events again. All right, I've been curious about how often they're going to do this sort of thing, because I might have reset my Silas and got one back if I thought it would be more often, but it doesn't sound like it. But yeah, hero resets. So this may have been addressed before, but will hero resets ever be purchasable or something? A lot of people don't use test server and instead have to awaken and upgrade a hero just to see if they do better, but it would be nice to just reset them for like $10 or something. I don't think that should be a pay-to-win option. That's not fair, for one. But yeah, we will not make resets a regular feature, but we will consider making it obtainable as part of the reward in the coming events. So maybe we'll just see them a little more frequently here and there for upcoming big events at least. Like a few times a year instead of just like when a hero is messed up or like what we only had it like twice, right? That we've been given those just randomly. Oh, we have a spoiler alert here. This might have been something mentioned in War Guide's video with the dev though. I know there was mention of a tower, but I didn't fully finish listening to that podcast style chat with War Guides. So this might have been already leaked. I apologize if I'm thinking this is new. But let's see. I guess I need to catch up and actually listen to that in case there's more details that I didn't already get. So, I think it would be really interesting and really fun if there was a game mode that was similar to Semra, but was based on factions. I mean, some kind of boss fight in which you need a team that's just one faction. But with the same idea as Semra, you have to meet some requirements, such as a cleanser, someone who gives stun, dispeller, it could be weekly too. In the case of the cultist faction, the boss at some point would need you to break his shield, but to do so, you need to give him some sort of debuff. Okay, and they continue to explain some ideas, but this is Faction Wars, just asking for more interesting Faction Wars, honestly. However, let's see here. They do have an interesting reply. There will be similar contents introduced in the new mode Moonly Tower, which is expected to be released in the first half of this year, because they're replying to comments from before the first. So yeah. Moonly Tower. Was that exact term used in the War Guides interview? I didn't catch that. I didn't finish it though. I did watch like the TLDR Fastidious did, but there was definitely some hints that I should watch more. You know, I really want to watch the full video as well. I just did not get to it yet. So that's on my to-do list for today. All right, Arena need to learn more about being skill-oriented than the higher Awakened Praetus or Ingrid wins. I suggest 1 week a month for 1 week to either put a buff on a random faction, like you do in Void Rift, or even add a temporary skill to certain lords or exclusives for that week to possibly even ban certain characters or skills for a week. This would get a breath of fresh air for new metas, strats, in the arena and allow other metas to a brief chance to shine. We are making similar content. The detailed release time will be announced in the future. So some conditional PvP modes coming in the future. There's an interesting comment here about Abaizu. I didn't even notice. She's not available in the normal pool for Ancients. Guess I just didn't notice because I already have her. They're saying let her be summoned in like the typical Ancient pool like everybody else. And they reply saying we will enable the hero to be summoned by players in future versions. Do they mean they're going to rerun the event or they're actually going to put her into the pool? Hopefully they mean they're just going to put her into the pool like everybody else. Why not? Right? All right, we have a couple of this same sentiment of being able to do your own attacks in guild versus guild testing, like not having to do a friend or guild member attacking them, being able to test it yourself with your own demon soldiers and stuff. However, they definitely seem to be against it. The replies are, there exists the feature to do friendly GVD matches with your friends. And then hopefully this will be a topic of discussion between guild members. So the idea of friendly face-off is meant to be community focused, not for you to be able to just test your own stuff like a pre-test type mode. So doesn't sound like they're going to change that, at least not now. All right, I guess we will end with the final one here. Give Soul Cadence, Demi, and Cyrus a cutscene for when they are summoned. All other Ancient exclusive lords have one. That's a good point. They're Ancient exclusives and they still don't have a cutscene? Those are the ones you should be fancy with, right? Yeah, they do say we'll gradually add cutscene movies for more heroes. Thanks for your attention. Alright guys, I guess that's all for now. I didn't really see anything else in the recent like notices. Let's check the final post for today. Bind your account to receive rewards. just encouraging people to bind their email address and get some free diamonds and a shard. Okay, there you go if you didn't notice that already. And other than that, there's just been some fun, like, fact stuff. And like mentioned, there is a dev interview with War Guides as well. If you guys haven't already watched that, I need to finish watching it. I started it but never finished it. So I'm going to do that today. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.